Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. In life, many people look for quick solutions to fix their problems. They search for motivation, shortcuts, and easy ways to improve their life. But they often ignore one powerful truth. Discipline is the real medicine. Just like medicine heals the body, discipline heals your life. It fixes your habits, strengthens your mind, and improves your future. Discipline may feel uncomfortable in the beginning, but it creates long-term growth, stability, and success. In this video, we will explore powerful lessons to understand how your discipline becomes your medicine. Lesson 1. Discipline fixes what motivation cannot. The first and most powerful truth about discipline is this: discipline fixes what motivation cannot. Many people believe that success depends on feeling motivated. They wait for the right mood, the right energy, or the right moment to start working. But motivation is temporary. Some days you feel inspired, focused, and ready to take action. On those days, everything feels easy. You work faster, you feel confident, and you make progress. But what happens on the days when you do not feel motivated? There are days when you feel tired, distracted, or uninterested. On those days, even simple tasks feel difficult. If your progress depends only on motivation, you will stop working during these moments. This is why many people fail to stay consistent. They start strong when motivation is high, but they stop when motivation disappears. Discipline solves this problem. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, even when you do not feel like doing it. It means taking action regardless of your mood. For example, imagine you have a goal to improve your skills or build something meaningful. There will be days when you feel excited to work, but there will also be days when you feel lazy or unmotivated. A person who depends on motivation will only work on the good days. But a disciplined person works on both good days and difficult days. They do not ask, "Do I feel like doing this?" They ask, "Does this need to be done?" This shift in thinking is very powerful. It removes dependence on feelings and replaces it with responsibility. Another important truth is that motivation often comes after action, not before. Many people think they need to feel motivated before they start. But in reality, once you begin working, your energy often increases. The hardest part is starting. Once you take the first step, it becomes easier to continue. Discipline helps you take that first step. Even when you feel resistance, discipline pushes you to begin. And once you begin, motivation often follows. Another advantage of discipline is that it creates consistency. When you act based on discipline, your actions become regular. You work on your goals every day instead of only when you feel inspired. This consistency leads to real progress. Small efforts repeated daily create powerful results over time. Without discipline, progress becomes unstable. You may have bursts of effort followed by long periods of inactivity. But with discipline, progress becomes steady and reliable. Discipline also builds trust in yourself. When you consistently do what you said you would do, your mind begins to trust you. You see yourself as someone who follows through on commitments. This self-trust builds confidence. You no longer depend on external motivation because you know you can rely on your own discipline. Another important point is that discipline reduces excuses. When people lack discipline, they often find reasons to avoid work. They may say they are too tired, too busy, or not in the right mood. But disciplined individuals do not focus on excuses. They focus on action. They understand that waiting for perfect conditions leads to no progress. Action creates progress. Another powerful effect of discipline is that it makes difficult things easier over time. At first, disciplined actions may feel uncomfortable, but when you repeat them regularly, they become habits. And once they become habits, they require less effort. This is how discipline transforms your life. It turns effort into routine, and routine into identity. The truth is simple. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. But discipline stays. It carries you forward even when motivation is low. When you build discipline, you no longer depend on how you feel. You depend on what you do. And that is why discipline is your medicine. It fixes inconsistency, removes excuses, and creates steady progress. And once you learn to act with discipline instead of waiting for motivation, your growth becomes unstoppable. Lesson 2. Discipline removes bad habits. Another powerful truth about discipline is this. Discipline removes bad habits. Many of the problems people face in life are not caused by a lack of knowledge or opportunity. They are caused by repeated negative habits. Habits are the actions you perform daily without thinking much about them. These habits can either help you grow or slowly hold you back. For example, habits like procrastination, distraction, overthinking, and wasting time may seem small in the moment. But when they are repeated every day, they begin to control your life. They reduce your focus, delay your progress, and weaken your discipline. This is why breaking bad habits is so important. But breaking habits is not easy. Your brain becomes comfortable with routine. It prefers actions that feel easy and familiar, even if they are not beneficial. This is where discipline becomes powerful. Discipline allows you to interrupt negative patterns. It gives you the strength to say no to habits that are comfortable but harmful. For example, imagine you have a habit of delaying important work. You know what you need to do, but instead of starting, you choose easier activities like checking your phone or watching videos. This habit feels good in the moment because it avoids effort. But over time, it creates stress and reduces productivity. Discipline changes this behavior. Instead of following the habit, you choose to act. You start the task even when it feels difficult. At first, this may feel uncomfortable, but each time you choose action over avoidance, you weaken the old habit. Over time, this creates a new pattern. Another important truth is that habits cannot simply be removed. They must be replaced. If you try to stop a habit without replacing it with something better, your brain will return to the old pattern. This is why discipline is not only about stopping bad habits, it is about building better ones. For example, instead of wasting time on distractions, you can replace that time with learning, practicing a skill, or working toward your goals. This replacement makes the transition easier. Your brain still follows a routine, but now the routine supports your growth. Another advantage of discipline is that it creates awareness. Many people follow bad habits without realizing it. They act automatically. But discipline forces you to pause and think before acting. It helps you ask important questions. Is this helping me or harming me? Is this moving me closer to my goals? Is this worth my time? This awareness is the first step to change. Once you become aware of your habits, you gain the power to control them. Discipline also builds resistance to temptation. Temptation is everywhere. There are endless distractions, easy pleasures, and comfortable choices that can pull you away from your goals. Without discipline, it is easy to follow these temptations. But with discipline, you learn to resist them. You understand that short-term comfort often leads to long-term problems. and you choose long-term growth instead. Another powerful effect of discipline is that it creates new habits. When you consistently choose the right actions, those actions become easier. Over time, they turn into habits. And once a habit is formed, it requires less effort. What once felt difficult becomes natural. This is how discipline transforms your behavior. It replaces negative habits with positive ones. It turns effort into routine, and routine into identity. The truth is simple. Your habits are shaping your life every day. If your habits are weak, your results will be weak. But if your habits are strong, your life becomes stronger. Discipline is the tool that allows you to break negative patterns and build better ones. It removes what is holding you back and replaces it with what moves you forward. And that is why discipline is your medicine. It fixes your habits, and when your habits are fixed, your life begins to improve. Lesson 3. Discipline builds mental strength. Another powerful truth about discipline is this: discipline builds mental strength. Life is not always easy. There will be challenges, distractions, pressure, and moments when you feel like giving up. In those moments, your strength is tested. Many people break under pressure because their mind is not trained to handle discomfort. They are used to choosing the easy path. When things become difficult, they stop. But discipline trains your mind to become stronger. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you are building mental strength. For example, imagine you have a task to complete, but you feel tired or distracted. Your mind tells you to rest, delay, or avoid the work. If you follow that voice, you strengthen weakness. But if you choose to continue working despite discomfort, you strengthen your mind. This is how mental strength is built. Not in easy moments, but in difficult ones. Discipline teaches you to handle discomfort. It trains you to stay focused even when things are not perfect. It helps you continue moving forward even when you feel resistance. Another important truth is that discomfort is necessary for growth. Anything valuable in life requires effort. Learning a new skill, improving yourself, or achieving a goal will always involve some level of difficulty. People who avoid discomfort avoid growth. But people who accept discomfort as part of the process become stronger. Discipline helps you accept this reality. It teaches you that feeling uncomfortable is not a reason to stop. It is a sign that you are growing. Another powerful benefit of discipline is that it increases your control over your mind. Many people are controlled by their thoughts and emotions. If they feel lazy, they stop. If they feel distracted, they follow distractions. If they feel tired, they avoid effort. But disciplined individuals do not allow their feelings to control their actions. They act based on what is necessary, not based on how they feel. This gives them control, and control creates strength. Mental strength also means staying calm under pressure. When challenges appear, disciplined individuals do not panic easily. Their mind is trained to handle difficulty. They stay focused, think clearly, and continue working toward solutions. This calmness is a result of repeated discipline. Another advantage of mental strength is resilience. Resilience means the ability to recover from failure or setbacks. No journey is perfect. There will be mistakes and challenges along the way. But a strong mind does not give up easily. It learns, adjusts, and continues. Discipline builds this resilience. Each time you face a challenge and keep going, you become more capable. Another important point is that mental strength grows gradually. It is not built in one day. It is built through small daily decisions. Every time you choose effort over comfort, focus over distraction, and action over avoidance, you strengthen your mind. Over time, these small decisions create a powerful mindset. You become someone who can handle pressure, stay consistent, and continue moving forward. The truth is simple. A weak mind avoids difficulty. A strong mind faces it. Discipline is what transforms a weak mind into a strong one. It trains you to handle discomfort, stay focused, and keep going even when it is hard. And once your mind becomes strong, you gain the ability to face any challenge with confidence. That is why discipline is your medicine. It does not just improve your habits, it strengthens your mind. And a strong mind is the foundation of success, growth, and lasting confidence. Lesson 4. Discipline creates stability. Another powerful truth about discipline is this. Discipline creates stability in your life. Many people feel stressed, confused, or overwhelmed, not because their life is too complicated, but because their actions are not organized. They wake up without a clear plan. They spend time on random activities, follow distractions, and react to whatever happens during the day. This lack of structure creates chaos. When your actions are inconsistent, your results become inconsistent. Some days you may be productive, but other days you may waste time. This unstable pattern creates frustration. Discipline solves this problem. It brings structure and order into your life. When you follow disciplined routines, your day becomes more organized. You know what needs to be done, and you focus your energy on important tasks instead of random distractions. This creates stability. For example, imagine starting your day with a clear routine. You wake up at a fixed time, you plan your tasks, and you begin working on your priorities. Because of this structure, your mind feels clear. You are not confused about what to do next. You are not wasting time deciding or reacting. You are following a system. This reduces stress. Another important benefit of discipline is that it saves mental energy. When your life is unstructured, you constantly have to make decisions. You ask yourself, what should I do now? Or, should I start this or that? These small decisions may seem simple, but they consume mental energy. Over time, this leads to fatigue. But when you have disciplined routines, many decisions are already made. You follow your schedule, your habits, and your plan. This reduces the need for constant thinking and allows you to focus your energy on meaningful work. Discipline also creates predictability. When your actions are consistent, your results become more predictable. You know that if you follow your routine, you will make progress. This removes uncertainty. Instead of hoping for results, you begin to expect them. This builds confidence. Another advantage of stability is emotional balance. When your life is unorganized, it often affects your emotions. You may feel stressed, anxious, or frustrated because things are not under control. But when your actions are disciplined, your mind becomes calmer. You feel more in control of your time, your work, and your progress. This calmness improves your overall well-being. Discipline also helps you handle unexpected situations. Life will always have surprises. There will be challenges, changes, and unexpected problems. But when your life has a stable foundation, you are better prepared to handle these situations. Your routines keep you grounded. Even when things go wrong, you can return to your structure and continue moving forward. Another powerful effect of discipline is that it builds reliability. When you consistently follow your routines and complete your tasks, people begin to see you as dependable. They know they can rely on you. This trust strengthens your identity. You are no longer seen as someone who is unpredictable. You are seen as someone who is stable and consistent. The truth is simple. Without discipline, life becomes chaotic. With discipline, life becomes organized. Stability is not created by luck. It is created by consistent actions. When you follow disciplined habits and routines, you create a stable foundation for your life. And from that stable foundation, growth becomes easier, progress becomes faster, and success becomes more achievable. That is why discipline is your medicine. It removes chaos, creates structure, and brings stability to your life. Lesson 5. Discipline improves self-respect. Another powerful truth about discipline is this. Discipline improves self-respect. Before success, before recognition, before results, something very important happens inside you. You begin to respect yourself. Self-respect is not built by words or external validation. It is built by your actions. It is the feeling that you are someone who takes responsibility, stays committed, and does what needs to be done. And discipline is the foundation of that feeling. Every day you make small promises to yourself. You may say, I will wake up early. I will complete this task. I will work on my goal. Or, I will avoid distractions. These promises may seem small, but they are very important. Each promise is like an agreement between you and yourself. When you keep these promises, you build trust. But when you break them again and again, you slowly lose trust in yourself. This is where many people struggle. They set goals, make plans, and feel motivated for a short time. But when things become difficult, they stop. Over time, this pattern creates self-doubt. They begin to think, I cannot stay consistent, or I always stop. This weakens self-respect. But discipline changes this. When you follow through on your commitments, even when it is difficult, your mind begins to trust you. You prove to yourself that your words have value. You show yourself that you are reliable. This builds strong self-respect. Another important truth is that self-respect is connected to effort, not perfection. You do not need to be perfect to respect yourself. You need to be consistent. Even small disciplined actions can create a sense of pride. For example, completing a task on time, staying focused for a certain period, or avoiding distractions may seem simple. But these actions show that you are in control. And control builds respect. Another advantage of discipline is that it strengthens your identity. When you act with discipline regularly, your mind begins to see you differently. You no longer see yourself as someone who delays or avoids work. You begin to see yourself as someone who follows through. This new identity builds confidence. You start believing, I am someone who can handle responsibilities. This belief becomes stronger with each disciplined action. Discipline also helps you overcome guilt and regret. When people avoid their responsibilities, they often feel guilty. They know they should have done something, but they did not. This feeling creates stress and reduces confidence. But when you act with discipline, you remove that guilt. You feel satisfied because you know you did your best. This peace of mind is very valuable. Another powerful benefit of self-respect is independence. When you respect yourself, you do not depend on others for validation. You do not need constant praise or approval to feel good about your work. You know your effort. You know your discipline. And that is enough. This independence allows you to stay focused on your goals without being distracted by opinions. Another important point is that self-respect influences your decisions. When you respect yourself, you are less likely to engage in actions that harm your growth. You choose better habits. You manage your time better. You stay committed to your goals. This creates a positive cycle. Discipline builds self-respect. Self-respect leads to better decisions. Better decisions lead to more progress. And more progress strengthens your identity. The truth is simple. You cannot truly feel confident if you do not respect yourself. And you cannot build self-respect without discipline. Discipline shows you that you are capable of doing what you say. It builds trust, removes doubt, and creates inner strength. And when you respect yourself, your confidence becomes natural. That is why discipline is your medicine. It does not just improve your habits. It heals your self-image and builds a strong foundation of self-respect within you. Lesson 6. Discipline brings long-term results. Another powerful truth about discipline is this. Discipline brings long-term results. In today's world, many people want quick success. They look for fast results, easy methods, and shortcuts that can give immediate rewards. But real success does not work that way. Anything meaningful in life takes time. Growth is slow, progress is gradual, and results appear only after consistent effort. This is why discipline is so important. Discipline allows you to stay committed even when you do not see immediate results. For example, imagine you start working on a goal. In the beginning, your effort may not show visible changes. You may feel like nothing is happening. This is where most people stop. They think, this is not working, and they give up. But the truth is that progress is happening beneath the surface. Just like a seed grows roots before it becomes visible, your effort is creating a foundation. Discipline helps you continue during this phase. It teaches you to trust the process. You keep working even when results are not visible. And this is what creates long-term success. Another important truth is that discipline focuses on consistency, not speed. Many people try to move fast, but they cannot maintain that speed for long. They start with high energy but burn out quickly. But disciplined individuals move steadily. They take small, consistent steps every day. This steady progress may seem slow, but it is powerful. Over time, these small efforts add up to big results. Another advantage of discipline is that it protects you from distractions. There are many things that can take your attention away from your goals. Short-term pleasures, easy choices, and quick rewards may feel attractive in the moment. But they do not create lasting value. Discipline helps you stay focused on what truly matters. It allows you to say no to temporary comfort and yes to long-term growth. This focus is what creates meaningful results. Discipline also builds patience. Patience is the ability to wait without losing focus. When you are disciplined, you understand that results take time. You do not expect immediate success. You continue working, improving, and learning. This patience keeps you moving forward even when progress feels slow. Another powerful benefit of long-term discipline is compounding. Compounding means that small efforts grow over time. For example, if you improve just a little every day, that improvement multiplies over weeks, months, and years. At first, the change may be small, but over time, it becomes significant. This is how consistent discipline creates powerful results. Another important point is that long-term results build strong identity. When you stay disciplined for a long period, your results become visible. People begin to notice your progress. They see your consistency and dedication. This creates respect. Your identity becomes someone who is committed and focused. You are no longer defined by short-term effort. You are defined by long-term consistency. Another truth is that discipline gives you an advantage over others. Many people give up when things become difficult. They stop when results are slow. But if you continue when others stop, you move ahead. This difference creates success. It is not always about talent. It is about who stays consistent the longest. The truth is simple. Short-term comfort leads to long-term problems, but short-term discipline leads to long-term success. Discipline may feel difficult now, but it creates strong results in the future. When you stay consistent, patient, and focused, your efforts begin to show. And once those results appear, they become part of your identity. That is why discipline is your medicine. It teaches you to think long-term, stay committed, and build results that last. And those lasting results are what truly change your life. Lesson 7. Discipline becomes your identity. The final and most powerful truth about discipline is this. Discipline becomes your identity. In the beginning, discipline feels like effort. It feels like something you have to force yourself to do. You remind yourself to stay focused. You push yourself to avoid distractions. You make conscious decisions to follow your routine. But over time, something changes. What once felt difficult starts to feel natural. And that is when discipline becomes part of who you are. At first, discipline is an action. Then it becomes a habit. And finally, it becomes your identity. Your identity is not built in one day. It is built through repeated actions. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you are shaping your identity. Every time you stay consistent, you're telling yourself, "This is who I am." For example, if you wake up early every day, work on your goals, stay focused, and avoid distractions, you're not just completing tasks. You're becoming a disciplined person. Your actions are creating your identity. Another important truth is that identity makes discipline easier. At the beginning, you may struggle to stay consistent. But once your mind accepts discipline as part of who you are, it becomes easier to maintain. You no longer need to force yourself. You act according to your identity. For example, a disciplined person does not ask, "Should I work today?" They know that working is part of who they are. Just like a person who values health naturally takes care of their body, a disciplined person naturally takes care of their responsibilities. This is the power of identity. Another powerful benefit of identity-based discipline is that it creates long-term stability. When discipline becomes your identity, it does not depend on mood, motivation, or external factors. It becomes constant. No matter how you feel, you continue to act in the same way. This stability leads to consistent progress. Another important point is that identity influences your decisions. When you see yourself as a disciplined person, you begin to make better choices automatically. You choose actions that match your identity. You avoid behaviors that go against it. For example, you naturally avoid distractions, manage your time better, and stay focused on your goals. You do not need to think too much. Your identity guides your behavior. This makes discipline stronger and more natural. Another advantage of discipline becoming your identity is that it builds respect. People begin to notice your consistency. They see that you are serious about your work. They recognize your effort and reliability. This creates trust. Your identity becomes someone who can be depended on. But the most important change happens inside you. You begin to see yourself differently. You no longer doubt your ability to stay consistent. You no longer depend on motivation. You trust your discipline. This self-belief is very powerful. It allows you to take on bigger challenges and pursue bigger goals. Another important truth is that identity is shaped daily. It is not created in one big moment. It is created through small actions repeated every day. Each decision you make is shaping who you are becoming. If you choose discipline daily, your identity becomes stronger. If you choose comfort daily, your identity becomes weaker. The truth is simple. You do not become disciplined by saying it. You become disciplined by living it. When you act with discipline every day, it becomes part of your nature. It becomes automatic. It becomes who you are. And when discipline becomes your identity, you no longer struggle to improve your life. Improvement becomes natural. Growth becomes consistent. And success becomes a result of who you are, not something you are chasing. That is why discipline is your medicine. It does not just fix your habits. It transforms your identity. And once your identity changes, your entire life begins to change with it. If you enjoyed this video and found these lessons powerful, make sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more powerful content. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.